Okay, stream should be back up everywhere now. So where are we? Should be in game 2 still, unless we've gone to 3. and Joey got it while I was fixing that issue. But I don't think that happened. So it's like Django flipped, and now we should be going into 6, which is Joey's flip turn. And he's got the shielded shuttle out, but he does have to deal with that P-38. Otherwise, his Vader's going to get tapped down either way. And that's just the power of this Django. Little was exhausted by No Good to Me Dead. Little was exhausted by No Good to Me Dead last round, I think. That's why I was exhausted. So here comes a Clone Combat Squadron. But I wonder if Vader just slips onto the ground here. Alright, here comes TDR. Gonna pick up a 7th Fleet Defender. That's not ideal, but it's, 3 damage. Okay, Vader is going to come in onto the shuttle. So he won't be able to be... I mean, if assuming Joey takes initiative here, he won't be able to be tapped down. Next round, all right, yeah, so 7th Fleet just goes to base. And it looks like, Joey might be able to get this one. He's going to be able to push 8 here with this Vader leader. And then if he's able to get 1 in and then 8 again next round, that gets him there. Actually going to be 8 in with the Clone Combat Squad. I guess it's 8 either way. So the P-38 is going to go in and tap down this the shuttle, attacking into the shield and then using the death damage to get the ping to exhaust. I'm going to play Garindin here. And it looks like whatever it was a miss. Probably called TDR or sneak attack. Alright, and here comes the Raider. Gonna clear the A-Wing out. Joey can win if he gets a surprise strike next round. Or if he just attacks with one of these TIE fighters and then is able to claim. We'll see what else he has in hand, but if I'm Joey, I'm probably just attacking with one of these TIEs. Because that sets up the Vader lethal. Would force Micah to claim. Alright, looks like Joey's just gonna claim. Interesting. That's valid, yeah. But it I don't know. It's a more risky line because this loses to surprise strike from Micah. It wins though if you have your own surprise strike. So he's not windmill slamming it. All right, you see Micah brought in some EMPs, which should help in this matchup. Oop, he just showed it. You can exhaust a big ship with Vader on it, or potentially just be, one cost to kill one of the weenies. All right, Micah going to be starting out with the initiative this time. Although into these Vader decks, you oftentimes are just getting initiative anyway, because they're playing 2 cards turn 1. All right, Joey took a mulligan here, and now this is his hand for keepers. What do we got? We got Aura onto the ground. Screecher in space. That could be a nice way to deal with Aura. And follows it up with the first order tie. That's pretty nice. Leader, and it looks like I don't know if I had a P3D8, I'd just be slamming it as Micah, but so it looks like he might not have that. Let's see, Genosis Patrol, I think Ruthless Raider, I think Sneak Attack, and I'm not sure what else. Going to spend 3, exploiting the Aura to bounce the first order tie. Interesting. Screecher going to trade into the Genosis. The Vader will generate. Masters the Django. At risk of probably being eliminated here. I mean, yeah, he'd fall at a 3-3. There's no way you're making cuts as a 3-3. There's 4 to base with the Shin. Let's see, he's holding Sneak Raider and punishing one as potential plays this round. Go to sneak punishing one. Okay. Ooh, answered by the Waylay. Django comes onto the ground here. And now Joey's just going to walk into base. Vader generates another TIE fighter and then spends 2 for an A-Wing and a mining tie. Both of which are getting buffed up by this Viktor leader. Django's on the board. You'd love to see a War Juggernaut here, but that's banned. That's not allowed. All right, Sneak Raider. So 2 to base, 2 and exhaust the Viktor leader. Death Space going to exhaust the Raider. Target Town finally able to knock out this Viktor leader. But this is Joey's flipping. Can Joey actually get there this turn? Let's see. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on board. Plus 5 is 13. He actually can get there. He. Are we debating whose action it is, maybe? Should be Joey's action. All right, yeah, so he's going to flip the Vader here and play out something. Going to be the trade route taxation, and that's going to box out EMP, and that's going to be game. And Joey taking it down over Micah. Django, I guess it's washed after the after those suspensions. All right, we do have a backup match, so let's see if that one is still going. It was supposed to be a hard control matchup, so but it looks like it's not going. And we're going to have Loopy. Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back soon.
till the day I die. What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? It's Loopy here at Late Night Gaming, and we are here for the top 8. And if you had Bosk Data Vault on your bingo card for a top 8, please make yourself known in the chat. And I don't think that's going to be any of you. And he will be playing a deck that you probably did have on your bingo card, which was Django Red.
Yeah.
And this is DZ, I believe, as our Django pilot, who's a Chicagoland guy and a member of our competitive team.
Right.
And this is Adam Kukelski, piloting Bosk. So, do you have these lists, RT?
Yeah, I do. I've got the Bosk one up on stream right now, and it looks very interesting. We were talking about this before, but it's not running a single post-rotation card. It's everything secrets or earlier. And there's only a couple things out of secrets.
I didn't believe you at first, but it is actually true. There's not a single post-rotation card in this list. And I imagine Adam has been a Bosk enthusiast throughout. And this was a very strong list. I mean, it actually is very close. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like 50 or out of 70 to the Vader list that I would run. But it does have game into Django. Red-green is the best barrage deck, typically. And if you can clear it, Django's board with exactly that card, you can be in significant business. What do you think looking at this list, RT, other than the fact that it doesn't have any post-rotation cards?
Yeah, I mean, there's some obvious ones that I would like to have. Like, you were talking about 000 earlier, but it looks interesting, and I'm excited to see what it does. In theory, like, yeah, the barrage could be big, but it might have problems sticking units because it looks like it's very ramp heavy, and it's running a lot of downgrades and super lasers and resupplies. So it might have trouble like getting a unit down. Well, I guess Bosk clips on 5, so that helps you out.
Yeah. So I mean, does it have super laser tech too?
It does, yeah. 9 ramp cards.
So it has 9 ramp cards, all 3 or less. The price on your head, you have to find a way to enable, but it also can be a blowout, given Bosk. And, Bosk can do 1 damage to any unit with a bounty. So he can kind of whittle that unit that gets price on her head away. Do we have DZ's list?
I do, yeah. Here it is. Looks pretty typical. Oh, there's some interesting stuff in there. He's got Shadow Stygian Prime.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a great include. I mean, Django is a known quantity, right? What works? But I do see full complement to sneak attacks and triple dark raid. Testament to how fast the format is.
Yeah.
But he does have a couple of includes that are a little bit spicy. The Shadow Stygian Prime is one of them. You also see at Incinerator, kind of like War Juggernaut at home. I heard people talking about that. And there's the fist pump. These players are ready to go. It looks like DZ will have the initiative in game 1.
All right, let's take that list down.
Piloting Django. Now, notably, he's going for the extra health instead of Tarkentown, so it's a little less explosive to start, but does have a little bit more ability to body a blow.
They're putting their decks on the side like that. I like that.
Yep. And we see Adam looking at the life puck. He's got his opening grip of hands. Derek looks at his as well. I see a triple dark raid and a 2-drop. So wouldn't be surprised to see Derek keep that. Black Sun Patroller is another new card that does very, very well in Django. It's Crafty Smuggler of the Sky.
Yep.
Doesn't see any Crafty Smugglers, though. That card got cut. Well, nope. He does have 3 Crafty Smugglers. I was going to say. In a Django meta, every shield you can get is pretty good.
Looks like both players taking a mulligan here.
Yeah, no, he didn't like it. That surprises me. I didn't see what else was there, but in my caveman mind, when I'm playing Django and I got a TDR in a first turn play, I'm feeling pretty good about my life.
Yeah, although like usually you don't want a TDR on turn 2, so maybe he didn't have a 3-drop.
Right. You gotta believe in the heart of the cards that you'll draw one. Um, yeah, and it's tough. I mean, Django does have a lot of kind of low health units, so boss bounties can hit pretty well, right? You bounty a crafty smuggler. It takes 3 turns to kill it totally from full health.
Yeah.
Could do worse. All right. Redux. I see an Aura Sing and a Black Sun Patroller and a P38 in DZ's hand. Both players have to keep this hand. You can't do any more. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing this match. I mean, the Bosk player played well all day, and is now looking to take home a PQ and put Mr. Trandishan right on the top of the leaderboards. With all the Djangos mixed in from the Eternal Ferment.
I just look at DZ's list again, and it looks like he only has 2 system shocks in the sideboard for upgrade removal. So if those bounties are probably going to stick.
Yep. All right, so DZ leads with an Aura Sing, which is a 1 of 4 raid 2 hidden into the ground arena.
All right, Adam is going to play the price on your head.
Yep. So immediately gets the ramp out, and then uses the Bosk action to do a damage. Yeah, it's pretty important to land that bounty. And then I also, I don't think he's running much bounce. I mean, he's running the Geonosis. So that could self-bounce Aura.
But self-bouncing never feels great.
Yeah. No, sure doesn't. All right, so Aura hits for 3. First Blood goes to Django. Adam's considering what move to play. They must have passed. And not wanting to lose anything to the P38.
No, I think
Death Mark goes on the P38.
I think his action was the ping.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he did the second ping on Aura. You're correct. All right. Yeah, both players putting their decks up in the part of the ground arena. I don't know if they're being instructed to do that way or what, but it's kind of a very bright sleeves back and forth.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
All the people that are using like ordinary black sleeves, like it's very difficult to count resources. So we appreciate people that have a little color. Or it hits for another 3 to 6 damage on boss space.
Or and
at this
farming.
point, yep, I see what you did there. All right, so Imperial Interceptor aces the P38, takes a damage back, and he gets Death Mark once. Death Mark is straight gas.
Yeah.
Especially when it can get doubled later. All right. So, yeah. Guerrilla Soldiers is going to ready because he has to put damage on base. He puts all 3 damage on base. So, the only problem with Guerrilla Soldiers is he'll lose the tempo and the aura attack. Yeah. But that's okay, right? Because we'll see if the boss gets greedy, with the price on your head and tries to deploy first.
I think in this situation, he was going to lose initiative no matter what, so.
Right. Yep. I know, and he also nails a daring raid, so 13 down, 20 to go on Data Vault. Adam has not done any damage yet, but was able to draw 2 cards with Deathmark and has Aura Sing teetering with 1 health with a price on your head, which is the ramp bounty.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of top end in Adam's deck. I mean, if he gets the price on your head doubled, all of a sudden you're looking at Great Dragons way before when you would expect.
Now the question is, do you flip the boss and try and double it, or do you just ping the aura now?
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it kind of depends on whether you have like a certain way to get her. But I think probably the better move is to just take the kill right now. And I mean, you still ramp once. That's still a lot. You're just probably too worried about a bounce and losing that bounty if you do anything else. But it doesn't look like that's good. He's gonna spend one. So it's timely. Oh, it's going to be a kill with timely.
Oh, Django.
Timely Django. Yep, and he's good. He's just drawing cards like crazy. So Django is a card that I thought was going to be a staple when I saw it released. It's a 3/6 Underworld Bounty Hunter. When attacking a unit with a bounty, it gains +3 and overwhelm. So it hit for 6 with 1 damage. He takes 5 overwhelm. And when the unit attacks and defeats a unit, Django unit draws a card. So while he didn't actually bring Django as his leader, he did come packing a Django, which he uses for good effect at the beginning of this flip turn. All right, Guerrilla Soldier hits for 2 to 15. Imperial Interceptor hits for 3, taking it to 8 damage on Derek's base. Django deploys. Django, when deployed, basically he has unlimited triggers, unlike most other units. So Django hits base for 3. All right. Adam's deciding on a move. He's always spent his resources, deciding where to put Bosk, and he puts it into Django, which makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get that
Shin
Django
Hati.
off the board. I mean, I guess, like, I don't know. I could see going into the Guerrilla Soldier just to get the unit guaranteed off the board. But, you know, especially because after the ban list, the multi-taps are rarer.
Yep.
But he might also be setting up for Barrage and wanting to get more raw damage out there.
Yeah, no, and we'll see. I mean, the boss player has access to Overwhelming Barrage, which is one of the most powerful removals in the game. Overwhelming Barrage on Boss Leader can kill Django, kill the Guerrilla Soldier, and take Shin Hati's shield.
Can it? I think he's only 4 power, right? So
wait, no. So he'd be 1 short of the shield, so
Yeah.
he could get the Gorilla because it takes 3 to kill Django.
But yeah, that's a play he can only do if he attacked the Django there instead of the Gorilla.
Right. So Django kills himself. He does get the card.
Yeah.
So Bosk has, yeah, and I definitely see Barrage in his hand. Bosk has, I believe, 7 cards in hand. I'm kind of surprised not to see aggressive negotiations with how much draw that deck has.
That's true, yeah.
All right. So, but hanging on by a thread.
That Shin is actually pretty difficult to deal with here.
Yeah, and he's running out of health, right? So 20 damage on Adam's base, 13 until he's dead, and he still needs to do 22 to Derek. So Adam, thinking hard about this move, and I think he's contemplating whether to barrage right now or not. I think that's what he's thinking about. Barrage off Bosk, Shin could still kill him if DZ tries to play control. All right, so he's going to play Price on your head on the Guerrilla Soldier.
Okay.
I wonder if he's just trying to bait an attack to Bosk.
That makes sense, actually.
Yep. All right.
Ooh,
For the base. The bait rejected. You know, DZ says you can play your big units. You can ramp again if you want. All right. I believe that he still has 5 resources left. So now it is the barrage. So it gets the shield, kills the Guerrilla Soldier, ramps.
So we should be at, 9 resources?
Yep. So, I mean, he'll be able to play big stuff. Triple Dark Raid. Will it be 13 to the face? He didn't get it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
He did not get it. I think he got a punishing one, so that's imagine what I see. No, punishing one's actually pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, there's 3 damage units on the other side, and I don't think that he has anything that he can do to stop it. The greedy play is to not kill the Imperial Interceptor with it, which I think makes sense. Just put another damage into Bosk or Django. Django probably. Bosk is going to probably clear Shinhati.
Yeah.
You would think. All right, so he plays punishing one. Where will he put the 1 damage? Onto. So punishing one currently has raid 3, so it's hitting for 6. Pretty good. Yep. Offers a cut of the cards going back on the bottom, which you should always do until your opponent tells you that that's not necessary. Punishing one gets to do a 1 damage when played, so he's got to decide where to stick that. The other thing is punishing one doesn't use any resources from TDR. So if he happens to have another triple dark raid, he's just got to find a 3. A P-38 or a 7th Fleet Defender could be lethal. Except that I think that Adam might save a damage here by sacrificing his Imperial Interceptor.
Yeah.
And the primary reason is just to get rid of the raid. I mean, the punishing one's going to go to hand. But that drastically reduces the number of things that are lethal that Derek could bring back. All right, so that hits for 5.
He's going to let the Django survive in order to keep that extra damage.
Max greed. I love it.
Well, I mean, I think it actually makes a lot of sense here because it puts him into Devastator range.
Yeah, can't he just claim? Yeah. No, he's got it. Well, no, the punishing one comes back.
Yeah.
So he's going to replay the punishing one. All right, so bounce back by triple dark raid. Adam has taken 29. DZ has 8. This is the quarterfinals of the Pastimes Eternal PQ. Thanks for joining us here on Take the Initiative in Late Night Gaming. Can DZ piloting Django? Architon isn't out to a Devastator later, so I imagine that comes in. And then I'll be interested to see whether he brings in the legal authorities. That can have some play into Django as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that all makes sense to me. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to add there. Maybe take out the crate dragons.
All right, I think.
If you like, that seems like
yeah, I can't say that I'm enough of a Bosk enthusiast to have a strong feeling on that. I mean, on the other hand, the crate dragon kind of stops TDR.
That is true.
Just because it's so much damage on the trigger. So, that might be something that you're trying to get to. Looking at DZ's list, you're certainly bringing in the system shocks. There's no question. And you're just fine with losing a damage on your unit there. I imagine you're bringing in the Geonosis copy that's in the sideboard as well.
Yeah.
And
I don't think you want Phantoms
maybe
here,
the
really.
lurking. Yeah, it's tough, right? So Phantom is immune to the damage. You can't damage Phantom with card effects.
That is
true,
yeah.
I mean, the Bosk player has a fair number of spaceships, is what you're worried about there.
Yeah. What do you think about Fet's Fire Spray?
It's a good unit in that it's a 6-drop that comes into play ready. Maybe. I mean, I could see that maybe slimming down a little bit. Try to make more hits for your TDR. Yeah. I also think that the Bosk will probably bring in some hate, though. I mean, Fire Spray doesn't line up well with an Architon at all.
Yeah.
So maybe not. And I think that he would see that, right? Because first off, it's open list, so you know it. But I mean, you got to look when you're doing this at an event as to what the opponent might be bringing in. And I think that it's a good thing to do is to, build your deck to, be competitive into Django, and then also have some additional hate in the sideboard so that you can improve that matchup in the second and third games.
Yeah.
Because you do still have to respect the rest of the field. I mean, Django is probably going to be the most represented deck, but it's not going to be the only deck there.
Yeah. We do have some updates from our other top 8 matches. So it looks like the Gar is facing off against the Quinlan, and the Gar got the first game. In our backup match, we got Yoda versus Piet, and the Yoda won the first game. And our Sabine Yellow Mirror of the Late Night Gaming competitive team members is going into game 3.
All right, so Cam and Carlos are taking it. Sabine Yellow is definitely Carlos's deck, or Cam's deck, that Carlos is playing. But Carlos is a big enthusiast with Yellow Red Hero, so both of them like it.
We had Rebel Resource in the chat earlier. It was his deck originally.
Yeah, I see. I see all caps Sabine Yellow, so that sounds like Ryan. I don't think he played today. I couldn't make it either. I'm glad I was able to get some commentary in after an event for one of my older kids. Most of today. All right, so both players have sideboarded. Yeah, really, that game 1 looked very lopsided. I don't think Bosk was that far from stabilization. Though, I mean, the variance wasn't actually good for Django. I mean, he TDR'd on 6 where he could have got a Devastator and it would have been, interruption proof. There was not any way left for Adam to stop it, and he did not hit it there, which extended the game in turn. All right. So Adam will have initiative. DZ takes a mulligan. These will be the final 6. I do like dealing out your 6 cards like that. Easier to count. Make sure your opponent sees what you had. I can't see exactly what's in DZ's hand. I see the Gurindin. That might be his only turn 1. So he's probably going to put one Gurindin down and play the other one. I don't know what I pick if I'm... What are you picking if you're going into this Bosk?
Maybe a ramp card, resupply your Super Laser.
Yeah, it's probably... And then that's always tough, too, because you have to guess between those two.
Yeah.
There's really no... So he passed, and DZ claims. Yeah, the pass kind of let him off the hook. All right, so
I wonder if Derek...
with initiative now.
Easy.
Mm-hmm. So that represents a very difficult to stop 5 to base. All right, so DZ is deciding what to do. Actually, no, it's Adam deciding on his resource and has been in the think tank for a while. But he's about to make it, it looks like. All right, so tap 3, Guerrilla Soldier. Monkey sounds ensue. 3 damage to base from indirect, and the unit readies. Super Laser Tech. Guerrilla Soldier hits base for 5. Yeah, for a weak opening hand, I think DZ's got to be really happy with this position. Now, Boss is going to get to come out this turn.
Yeah. Let's see if he has a bounty, which would really be nice.
Right. Yeah, no, it really, you gotta avoid the double, the double bounties. They'll kill you. All right, so Super Laser Tech runs into the Guerrilla Soldier, does 2 damage, and then becomes a resource and readies. I definitely see Price in his head under.
All right.
Under the Guerrilla Soldier. Yep. So that's going to be a double ramp, unless DZ can find a way to stop it. Now, even if you don't have P38, 1 for Daring Raid. So he's representing it even better. He can kill him now. But,
Well, but I mean, you want the double trigger.
right. Gotta be greedy. I mean, he's already ramped to 6. So if you double trigger, he's going to be able to play Crit Raid next turn.
Yeah.
On the Django flip. That's one way to mess with the Django flip is have a Crate Dragon on the board.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
See, he's already double ramped. If you can double trigger this, that would be a quadruple ramp.
Right. Yeah. Nope. And Boss Data Vault is known as a greedy deck, and this is why. All right. Shinhati. The Monkey Man. Sensing impending doom. All right. So Boss deploys, attacks the Gorilla Soldier. Price on your head resolves twice. So the resources come from the top of your deck on that one. They don't ready or anything. But I don't know why he showed his 2 resource cards. Doesn't have to do that.
It looks like he doesn't have the crate, but he's got a reinforcement walker, which is probably better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, especially if he's got a timely, too. Now, he's only at 9, so he would have to play timely from hand to ambush a reinforcement walker. He's looking right now. I don't think he's got it there. The Misty Mountain PQ. All right, so Boss goes in for 4 to base.
Adam's also holding a Maul, which can immediately clear the Django on flip.
Right, which is what I would kind of expect to have happen now. No, he's going to grind it twice. It's real good. So you don't have to cast both. So we'll see what he did, but I would not be surprised if one of his calls was a Maul. Right here. All right, so I don't think he hit, though.
Yeah.
He called Barrage. And he's going to hit the Reinforcement Walker. All right.
All right, yeah, they got the resources all set.
Yep. So what happened there is the Grindin resolved, and then he just cast them all.
Yeah.
Kind of from his sideboard for 7, and now it's actually DZ's action. Not a terrible position, though, because Shin answers Maul. You'll be able to use the Django ability from leader side next turn.
Yeah, and as bad as that, Maul is taking out the Django, I do think it was correct to go for the reinforcement walker there.
Yeah, no, you can't let him heal. Plus, I mean, you would expect him to have a timely in the row at this point. You really don't want the reinforcement walker to ambush either. That's a real bad day when that happens. All right, so both players deciding on their resources. Adam will be resourcing to 10, having quadruple ramped. And the quadruple ramp was a super laser tech, a resupply, and then a doubled price on your head. So he's got all kinds of resource advantage. Django's done more damage to base 13, having 20 more to do to finish off Data Vault. And then Adam has done 4 damage to the Django base, which is the 30 point Castro City, I believe.
Yes.
All right, 6 for Ruthless Raider. That's going to be 2 damage and a tap down. 15 damage on base.
Raider could be difficult to deal with here.
Yeah, Vader's good. So he's going to look at his top 10 cards with Vader.
Probably looking for
Looking
a
for a
Praetorian
3-drop.
Guard here.
Yeah, Praetorian Guard would be excellent because that's going to take both of the units to kill. And protect Maul, right? Because otherwise Grinden's going to kill Maul.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what he does with Vader. Like whether he ambushes into the shield for Shin or kills Grinden. So he got a Kylo tie. I don't think he has any 1-drops, so that's going to be all. All right. So usually do the when played of Vader before the ambush. Almost always that's correct sequencing. And he's deciding what to ambush. So given that pull, I think I'm ambushing Gurinden.
I probably would go Shin, actually.
But he did get Shin. All right, so that's gonna be 4 damage. Shin does 9 to base. Boss kills Gurinden.
Okay.
DZ claims. Open fire to kill Shin. Body. So Boss really has a whole lot of Sith in the ground arena helping him out. I see sneak attack drawn by DZ.
Does he have any units to go with it? I think that's a punishing one.
Punishing one's actually pretty good too.
Yeah. It looks like Bosk is only on 1 Devastator.
Yep.
Which would be a really nice card to see right now.
Yeah, I think DZ's on 8. So there. All right. So 2 damage surprise strike. So that makes it 7 to base. 26. He still can sneak attack the punishing one. Maul swings in for 7. That swings.
Brings him up to
Stings.
11. It's pretty funny.
Yep, it's always open. Do you have 7-Elevens out in Oregon?
Oh, yeah, we do. There's one like 15 minutes from my house, maybe.
Sneak attack punishing one is going to do a damage to the Kylo tie and tap it down. And Boss has to find an answer to that punishing one in a hurry. It is currently swinging with Raid 4, so 7 damage to base and lethal. Imperial Interceptor is not enough.
Well, wait, can the Interceptor target the Silencer?
It could. Maybe. I actually don't. I don't recall. I think it might be enemy space unit, but let me look.
Let's bring it up.
I should know that. I'm the Vader player.
No, it's to a space unit, so it could.
To a space unit.
But it looks like he's not going to do it. And he'd be dead to the Ruthless Raider anyway.
Yep. All right. So DZ, in commanding fashion, kills the Cinderella of the ball. Boss Data Vault is out. But yeah, you see him talking about how good that call with Gurinden was of the reinforcement walker. And I think that was the play of the game.
Yeah.
You know, but for getting the walker out of it, I mean, DZ really didn't have an answer in the ground arena to a reinforcement walker, and it would have been healing 3 every attack.
All right, we do have a backup match. So I'm going to transition us over to that. It looks like in the one other game, Kevin, who I believe is our Gar player, ended up taking it down over the Quinlan.
All right, so Gar ECO, which is a great deck, manages to get through.
And this game is on game 3, Piet versus Yoda.
All right, so let me see if I can find the mat. This is the one on the late night mat.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Interrogation Grove taps down a unit I think that he hasn't decided which. So you get the discard if you tap down the village people, the chicks with sticks. But Typho obviously hits for a look of hope. Maybe something died earlier. All right. So Yoda action. Looks at a card. It is the Yoda flip turn. I see distinctly 7 resources here. Do we know this is game 2?
This is game 3.
Game 3. All right. So the players are even up. What are our names?
Michael on Yoda, Chris on Piet.
So Chris attacks in with the interrogation droid to Typho, doing 3 damage when he finds that dice. Don't see a disclose. Yoda's only taken 4 damage. Yoda flips, gets a hyperspace disaster, kills the invisible hand. But Piet hasn't used any of his resources yet.
And Piet's on 7 as well, I believe. So effectively 9 when it comes to capital ships.
Right. All right. So Stygian Prime, we're going to see a triple dark raid from Piet. What will he find in his 7 cards? The triple dark raid along with sneak attack are the typical splash. We saw this deck play very well at the Beaverton PQ. Actually, I think the final match was a very good player too. All right. Why did he was a very good player too? All right. Why did he disclose? Shouldn't disclose thing, but is a little bit out of sequence there. Shouldn't disclose thing, but is a little bit out of sequence there. Try not to miss your triggers if you're playing in an event. Should go for Piet too, though. That's actually a whole. Should go for Piet too, though. That's actually a whole bunch of HK triggers that he could have had that turn. Oh, I think it's correct. I mean, Yoda's got the inevitability. I think he can turn the corner at this point. And the restore too is important. So what will he do? Will this be Luke Skywalker? It will
yes.
be. Ooh, one of the fancy ones. And kill an HK.
Yeah, I think Michael's got a play set of these because we had him on stream earlier.
Oh yeah, that's Tisdale.
Yeah.
Yep. So I met him. He's a Adepticon, and he actually was in with the other store that did a PQ 2 weeks ago. So yeah, good guy. He helped get our internet coverage at Adepticon. It's on staff for. Let's see, that was Star Wars Legion going on there that he was on staff for. All right, so Tisdale's ready to go in this game 3. Things are looking pretty grim for Piet. He doesn't have Django magic to tap down the entire board and stop the restore. And Data Vault's only taken 5.
Lethal on board here between these 2 units.
All right. Also representing Restore 5. Interrogation droid hits Luke Skywalker, doing 3 damage. What, Architon?
Ooh, Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan's a pretty good card. All right, so everything gets -3/-3. He gets 1 kill with the Bo-Katan to get an experience on Yoders. Piet hits for 0. Ruthless hits for 1. Look at this man showing up with -3/-3 Bo-Katan dice. Come prepared to your event. Well played, Tisdale. All right. That has to be a blow to the gut for Piet. He's trying to see if he has a response. One resource exhausted for. He plays a Dornian.
It's an MC3.
Stabilize, and then finish with Poe. chef kiss for Hero Blue Green.
For sure.
A few moments ago, the darling of the ball, Boss Data Vault, be bested by Django. So DZ, congrats on him to the semifinal. Yoda Data Vault to the semifinal. And then we know Carlos Apodaca, who is the runner-up of the sector in Atlanta, is into the top 4 on Sabine Yellow. And then do we know the last entrant?
Yeah, it's going to be Gar Saxon, ECL.
All right, and Gar ECL. So 4 unique decks representing a multitude of colors, right? So you have hero, you have all 4 colors of hero, right? Because you have blue, green, yellow, and red of hero.
Yeah.
With Sabine Yellow and Data Vault. You have blue, green villain, and then yellow, red. We actually have, I think, the whole kaleidoscope. RG.
Yeah.
I think we have all of the aspects represented in the top 4 of this Eternal PQ. So that's hot.
That's wild. Yeah.
So looking forward to this. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the semifinal after this. What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? We are here with the semifinal of the Pastimes Eternal PQ, and things are getting hot and heavy. We have our primary match here will be the likely shorter of the 2 matches. It will be Carlos Apodaca piloting from Blue Milk Gaming, piloting the Sabine Yellow deck that he and Cam brought to this event. And it will be Kevin playing Gar ECL into this. So, what do you think about What do you think about this top 4 first before we get to the list?
Yeah, so we were going over this before, but the other matches in this are Django Tarkentown and Yoda Data Vault, which means we've got red yellow hero, red yellow villain, blue green hero, and blue green villain, which means we've got all 6 aspects represented equally, pretty much.
Yep. Yep. Nope. We got the whole kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. I don't actually recall a PQ where that happened, exactly there, but it's the first time for everything. They're working on their life puck right here. They've looked at the deck list. This is a pretty straightforward but powerful Sabine list that Carlos is running. I think that that's entirely pure rotation as well, except for the Sabine unit in the sideboard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Running a Dark Saber, you can do that on Sabine. This is a deck that Cam from our team very much likes and probably has been working on. And Carlos, if you recall, was an excellent Quinlan player, so is very comfortable with Red Yellow Hero. Can we take a look at the Gar?
Yeah, let's bring that up.
So, just I guess tech for the control matchup if you actually ran into one.
That can be in Premiere. It's a lot worse.
All right. So Kevin begins with Krennic, and everybody's doing bots. We got 2/2 shieldeds for days, except that Gar's passive makes the Krennic a 3/2 shielded, and then Sabine ping for 1. Carlos, I think, playing well and aggressively, knowing that he has a 5 hitch point lead and an aggressive leader. Gar is not used to playing control, but I think certainly isn't in this matchup. L3 is a very strong start there, Stu, because not simple to kill. Kevin says, no, I'm the aggro.
Yeah, I mean, it's
both
not,
players attacking base.
It's not out of the question that that Kevin could aggro out here.
Mm-hmm. Right. I don't think he'll be able to save ECL for 6. All right, and then a Millennium Falcon comes down. So Gar has taken 7 damage of 25.
Yeah, Falcon's pretty big there. That's a major tempo swing for Carlos.
Right. What does Gar need? I mean, he needs to stabilize the ground arena with something. Maybe Lom Pike is pretty good right here.
So it costs Krennic, 5. Or I guess if he played it out of hand, yeah.
It'd have to be out of hand. I'm thinking he needs the ECL. So
maybe like an emergency powers.
Emergency powers on Axe, maybe.
Yeah,
that's
there
exactly
we go.
What he does. So that's going to be 4 experience on Axe.
Just 3 because it does cost 1 to play.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, but was that bamboozle to get rid of all the upgrades?
Oh, that might just be a brutal bamboozle. That is, and the hopes and dreams of emergency powers fall to the wayside. Sabine hits in for 3. Yeah, no, that's a. I mean, does blow the Falcon attacks for 5. He did play the tax top cut, having completed a game 1 in 5 minutes or so. Did a game 1 in 5 minutes or so. Yeah, the power of bamboozle. And that's like your best card in the deck in Gar.
Yeah. I mean, like, had that Axe been allowed to
does he have it?
Keep those experience, it'd be hitting for what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think.
Yep. So looking at Carlos's list, I see that he has some Plo in the sideboard. He has Kira in the sideboard. He has R2 in the sideboard. I don't know that you'd bring any of that, and I might just bring in the Rebel Assault.
Yeah.
Because you're playing against a fast deck. If you had a 3rd copy of Bamboozle, I'd bring that in for sure.
Maybe Sabine to like clear shields or experience.
Yeah. Sabine can be good. So yeah, you're probably right. He probably brings in the Sabine unit as well. In fact, that Sabine unit is probably in there in part for Gar. Because going into like a Krennic unit, or I didn't see if Gar is running Secret of Sage or not. But I mean, the Sabine is just really matches up well out of the sideboard.
Let's take a look at the Gar sideboard,
Um,
though. You have to escorts for the Falcon. But he does have Nimble and Kill Switch to
yeah,
exhaust things.
yeah. I think that's what you do. I think that you actually bring in the control cards. You might even bring in Legal Authority. You definitely bring in the droid laser turret. Just
Yeah.
trying to slow down Sabine. You're
Maybe
trying to play control. I think
confiscates
that
for
you
those
don't.
dark sabers.
Yeah, because I think the Gar is strongly the control. I mean, that game he tried to race thinking that I can do Axe emergency powers and win the race. But Carlos happened to have Bamboozle. Rule number 1 of CCGs: always have it.
That's true.
I find that if you always have it, you tend to have good results. Yeah, he didn't even get to use his ECL either. All right, so Leppy Lookout is a very good start.
And the players
We
have
get an
taken.
A-wing and a ping.
The players took almost as long sideboarding as they did to play game 1.
Right. Yeah. Right, and I would imagine that Carlos had a plan for Gar, but Kevin might not have thought about Sabine Yellow going into the prep. But great deck. In Wisconsin, Sabine Yellow was the higher played Sabine, certainly through set 1. Rebel Resource is a great Sabine Yellow player. Camden Kill Switch is pretty good. So Gar going into the control role. We have a Cartel Turncoat is what that card is. A 2/3 bounty, draw a card. Leppy Lookout sit for 3.
For 4.
4. Yep, you're right. 4 for there. And then we actually have Owen Lars is pretty good. Karis Nemec was played by Sabine, which is a 3/2 hidden, disclosed to make a ready spy. And he decides to ping and give up the tempo. Nope, he decided not to do that.
Yeah,
I think
it's wrong to ping there.
Right. Just because the card wasn't good enough already, Leppy Lookout also has Overwhelm.
Yeah.
All right, so just Carlos deciding what to read. I see a wing leader in his hand. I think that might be the choice. Gar has a little bit better start. Has done 5 damage to base and has a Leppy Lookout and a healer, Owen Lars. But there's a concerning number of units that Sabine has in both arenas. Good time for that Rebel Assault. So Sabine is going to go in and kill Owen Lars and get the shield of Leppy.
That's a nice use of the Sabine.
Yep. Yeah, no, that card's real good.
It just goes to show playing that here with initiative definitely gets you more value than you would have gotten paying with Sabine last round.
Right. And Kevin deciding what to do. I mean, Leppy to base makes some sense. Killing Nemec makes some sense too to me. Got a Secretive Sage, ECL probably.
Yeah, it's an option.
Oh no, that's what he got with Owen. He drew a Secretive Sage. It is a force unit. Who knew Trandashans are force sensitive? All right, Droid Laser Turret,
that's a nice
which
one.
is a 2. Yep. And the Sabine is already in play and not able to help. A-Wing attacks for 2 because of the kill switch. Leppy Lookout to base for 3, taking Carlos to 8. Cartel Turncoat, 2 damage to 5. We got Han Solo, the 1/1 on attack, giving experience to this unit. A Sabine ping to 9, damage on each base.
6 on Kevin, 9 on Carlos.
Oh, yep, you're right. I suspect it will be tied up at the end. All right, so Kevin has taken 7 damage of 25 on his ECL. Sabine Yellow, 9 damage taken, but has a pair of Sabines in the ground arena. Right? Yeah, he sure does. All right. 3 damage to base from Sabine from the new set. 7. We have Lompike just played from hand. I don't know. I mean, I think
At least ECL it.
I think you needed to ECL. I mean, yes. I mean, Vader ECL is the strongest ECL in the deck, but the problem is you're playing against a Sabine deck that's not going to let you get to 5 very often, or get to 6. All right. So Han attacks base. Cartel Turncoats there. He's got a Cassian. Yep. So 3 more damage to base to 17.
So now Carlos can, yeah, he can definitely end the game this turn. He's got a 4 cause in hand too,
Right.
and an honorable sacrifice.
Right. Heroic sacrifice. Though honorable it is.
Yeah, I always mess that up. I think there's a card in Destiny called Honorable Sacrifice, which has the same art, or like the same art from the same scene.
Yep. All right. So, Gara's initiative has saved ECL. It's so wide, the board. I mean, he has a Sabine unit, a Sabine leader, a Cassian, a Kill Switch Daywing, and a Cartel Turncoat. He only needs to do 8. I mean, I guess you ECL Vader right now to kill. What can you get? You can get Cassian in one of the Sabines. But I think that given the 4 cause, that probably still ends up with a predictable result. Gar really doesn't have any way to heal. All right, we got 5 for Barrage.
Ooh, okay.
So you can do 6. So it takes 5 to wipe the space arena. Or you could just kill like the Turncoat and Sabine unit. So he does 3 to Sabine unit.
I think, yeah, it's got to be Turncoat.
And 3 to Turncoat. Yep. Yep. Draw a card. Who doesn't like drawing cards? Everybody likes drawing cards. And that's also great because Lompike is representing the kill on either of the other 2 units. Sabine leader is going to heroic sacrifice. So that's a total of 5 to base. Han clears Cassian.
And then a second heroic sack.
A sacrifice. That'll do it. All right. So Carlos playing Sabine Yellow advances to the final in short order. That was a lightning fast match, and it saw, both decks actually trying to go with an aggressive strategy. But I think Sabine Yellow wins that with pretty good frequency.
For sure. All right, we do have a backup match, our other top 4 game. And they're just about to get started with game 2 here.
With game 2, do we know who got game 1?
DZ did on the Django.
Django's a good deck. So, all right. So we are moving into this. This is going into their Derek game 1. I'm playing Django. The video will catch up as we go. This is Kevin Tisdale playing Yoda Data Vault. We saw him expertly take care of a Piet, which is a very aggressive TDR deck, in game 1. And they're going into the semifinal here. Thanks everybody for watching along as we have coverage of the Pastime PQ and go on, just the eternal meta. Like every 2-drop and 3-drop, it seems, has a shield.
Yeah.
At least you don't have to worry about War Juggernaut anymore. 3 damage to base from Leppy, 2 damage from Black Sun Patroller. That's Chicks with Sticks. The village people come down into the ground arena, and Kylo's tie comes into the space arena. So DZ electing for a space approach into Yoda, which makes sense. And Yoda opting for a units with shields approach into Jango, which also makes sense.
Yeah. We might just see Michael try to race here.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him turn the corner. Yep. You saw him turn the corner very well before the other game. So does start up 3, has a lot of ways to heal. We are doing a blue leader into the Kylo tie. So playing some control. Black Sun Patroller hits for 2. Village People hits for 2. DZ taps 2 for a Crafty Smuggler into the ground arena. Looking for that shield. Leppy Lookouts hits base for 3. Aura Sing hits the ground arena for Jango.
Yeah, Crafty plus Aura is going to enable DZ to take out that village people before the Jango flips.
Right, and Mike claims...
It looks like DZ's hand is double Devastator, so it's kind of getting clogged. I think it's double Devastator, Ruthless Raider, and like a 2-drop. So he's not going to have much of a play unless he's got plot things. Or he decides to resource a Devastator or a Raider.
We saw DZ do a pretty good use of Garindin in the game previous.
And it looks like he resourced the Devastator.
Yeah, I think he has to.
Yeah.
Devastator costs 9, and do you really need to? All right, so Village People hits Jango's base for 10. Yeah, and he doesn't have a clean answer to Village People. That's really what's given him some trouble here. Crafty Smuggler hits in, and they trade shields. Leppy kills Crafty. That'll be 1 Overwhelm. Should be 1 Overwhelm.
Yeah, let me ping the judges.
Jango deploys. That is Queen Amidala, the Prestige, one of the coolest Prestige cards, in my opinion, making 2 spies. One of those spice tokens is one of the locals there. Aura Sing takes care of the village people. DZ deciding what to do. Jango goes into base for 3 to 7. 2 from Black Sun. 2 for a Kylo tie.
And that's all he has.
and that's all, so an inefficient flip turn. Not what he's looking to. Things will improve from here. Of course, he draws a Daring Raid now. Yeah, so his spy token appears to be a furred friend wearing sunglasses. So I like the cut of your jib, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, Leppy Lookout is killing Aura Sing. They trade.
Should be another overwhelm. That's 2.
Ooh. War Juggernaut. Ban him if you want. We got AT Incinerator at home, tapping down the entire ground arena. pretty good.
Amidala allows herself to be tapped here, which is interesting.
Ooh, but that's a resupply carrier taking Yoda to his flip turn. 3 damage. 4 to base, restoring 2.
And yep, they are.
Yeah, IG 2000 is also suspended, so that's not an option either. The balancing with that do the damage spread rather than Django. All right, so DZ has initiative, needs to do another 20 to get through here. Took game 1. This is game 2 of the semifinal at Pastimes Eternal PQ in Niles, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. We have DZ from the late night competitive team piloting Django, and Mike Tisdale from Illinois piloting Yoda Data Vault. This is not a good position for Django to be in. DZ deciding what to do. The units in the ground arena for Yoda are 2 spies, each with 1 damage, and Amidala with 1 damage. Yoda, leader. And then he has a resupply carrier, which is a Force 5 vanilla space unit at this point in the game, in the space arena. Ruthless Raider does 2 to Yoda, taps him down, and 2 damage to base. All right, then we got Keller and Beck, I believe, into the grounding unit for Yoda. He's at 8 resources, so he'd be able to play a 4, and he does find a Captain Typho, I believe.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the video less blurry right now.
I've developed a keen eye for this. So that was Captain Typho, played by Yoda. Kylo Tai hitting into base for 3. Spy hitting into base.
Be greedy, go
2
base,
16.
yeah.
Incinerator hitting into Typho. Does 3. Is there disclose? Doesn't look to be. Spy. Nope. Resupply carrier hits base.
Yeah. I think I like going to base here with Michael because he can push Derek to 27.
Right.
Maybe he goes like 1 spy into the incinerator just to clear it, but
yeah, well, he might also clear Django. That wouldn't surprise me.
well, but he'd have to commit
Just to
both
not
units to that.
Well, except if Django attacks Typho.
I guess, yeah.
So, and that's exactly what DZ's thinking of, is whether he clears Typho with Django. Video quality has improved greatly. Good job, RT. Spy to base for 2 to 22. I don't think he's claimed yet, but he's thinking about it. Amidala. I think it's just base for 5.
Yeah, it's got to be base.
Don't change what you're doing when it's working.
And it looks like the aggro Yoda gets game 2.
All right. So yeah, no. And you see DZ talking about how clunky his opening hand was, and what he had to resource.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be a decisive game 3. Yoda Data Vault, which really saw a lot of play last set. Starting with Wu, I think winning 3 PQs in a row on Yoda Data Vault. Going against the menace of the format, Django Red. DZ electing to go with the 30 point base.
Winner gets to play Carlos Apodaca on Sabine Yellow in the finals. Rebel Resource, if you're still in chat, tell us, as a Sabine Yellow player, which would you rather face?
Django or Yoda. I mean, that's not a great decision.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd be surprised if Carlos doesn't have a very defined Django plan.
Yeah.
Sabine can get under it. All right, so both players shuffling their cards. This is the decisive game 3 of the semifinal of the Niles Eternal PQ. We saw DZ from the Late Night Competitive team, and this is his local store, one of his locals, trying to defend home turf, piloting Django into Mike Tisdale, piloting Yoda Data Vault, who's really done well. We actually had a really cool top 4 where we have all of the aspects represented equally, with Yellow Red Villain piloting Django against Blue Green Hero in this match, and our other match was Red Yellow Hero, Sabine Yellow into a Gary CL Blue Green Villain. So the meta's diverse in Eternal. We'll be taking you the rest of the way home. Pastimes has run all kinds of events. They're very good at it, so they will put the final on very shortly after this match concludes, I am sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Annika, who's the TO there, who works really hard. They have excellent pricing for these events. And to Nate and Griff, who typically judge there. I don't know who's there. I know Griff is there today for sure because I saw him in the chat, Faustine. But these events don't happen without the judges and store staff making them happen. So that's greatly appreciated by the community.
Absolutely. And also shout out to Unit Monster, whose cameras we're using and who's the person behind this, scrolling thing on the bottom, and also the little standings overlay.
Yeah, giant shout out to Joe who's making it happen. I had a kid's obligation, but for Unit Monster stepping up, this coverage would not have occurred. So eternally grateful to Joe. But not being able to play it or be down there bringing camera equipment means that I can commentate matches with you. So I'm real happy to be joining you today to try to take us home. All right. So I think that Tisdale's taking a mulligan. Gets a cut. Triple decker cut to win. Takes his cards. And, this is what you're going to be dancing with. Yeah, I think that, the Leppy has got to be what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Because it's really just a nice way to institute that. Crafty Smuggler goes down. Bodhi Wook for Yoda. Bodhi is an interesting card in this deck.
Bit worse going second for sure.
Yep. So you can give experience to any rebels. And I'm trying to think of what rebel units are even in that deck outside of himself. Crafty Smuggler hits base for 2. Bodhi hits base for 2. Nope, Bodhi hits the Crafty. Not going aggro strategy at the beginning of this match. I presume he actually gave himself Sentinel to the extent that that's important, which probably isn't. We got a 7 Fleet Defender going old school all the way from set 1. A 3/2 shielded, and then we have Obi-Wan Kenobi played into the ground arena for Yoda. So he has a lot of conditional Sentinels in the ground arena. All right, DZ has initiative.
Yeah. Do you just like kill
Will
this Bodhi or do you go to base? Okay, he's going to base.
I go to base. Bodhi's gonna kill the crafty,
Oh,
take care
interesting.
of it for him. So, and he can't give Sentinel to Obi that way
Yeah, I
because Obi's
was
not a rebel.
I was kind of expecting Obi to kill the crafty though, so that it would
Me
survive.
too. P38 goes and taps down
Oh, I
Obi.
guess he wants
Get
it defeated for Spark. That makes
Yep,
sense.
yep. He wanted a ramp. All right. So the 7th Fleet Defender will attack in for 3 to 7. Is going to do a greedy Yoda action. Nope. Sure isn't. All right. So we have 2 3/2s in the Space Arena for Django. DZ, as he just drew a Triple Dark Raid, which never, once you're on like 5 resources of grading, drawing Triple Dark Raid is basically the best thing that can happen.
Yep.
He has Yoda has an Obi-Wan in the ground arena. Obi-Wan is a 3/5 unit that gains Sentinel if a Force unit is played. Hits for 3 to base. This is Django's flip turn.
No
P38 hits
resupply
space
carrier, unfortunately, but Typho's a nice pickup.
Yep. DZ's thinking. He's got multiple lines here. First, we're going to have the 7th Fleet Defender hit for 3, taking Data Vault to 13. We have Mina Bonateri into the ground arena, getting pretty clogged down there. Django has no path to the base. Deploys into the ground arena, is looking at a 4/5 Sentinel and Typho, an Obi-Wan and a Mina Bonateri, and has not used any resources yet. So what does DZ have up his sleeve?
I think he's got TDR.
Yeah. I don't know that he do TDR in this turn, though.
Yeah, I guess maybe you want to wait till next turn and try and pull the Devastator.
Right. I think punishing one is what the plan is, yep.
Oh,
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, he's going to hit Typho with the punishing one. I don't think he'll attack with Django, but I could be wrong. Yep, he passes. Yeah, 6 is the magic number to be able to TVR a Devastator. So, and that's certainly a strong play. Now, Yoda Data Vault has all kinds of ways. This will be the make or break turn of the game here, folks. This is Yoda's flip turn on 7 resources. He's going to blind deploy and find a lat so that he can hit the 7th Fleet Defenders the correct call.
Yep.
The P38 would just exhaust something. Will the Devastator have its say? So if he hits it, he can tap down the entire board for Yoda. Now, Yoda is not anything dead, so Luke is not an out to the Devastator.
Yeah.
Could weaken it.
If DZ might even have game this turn if he can TDR Dev.
Yep. So he's going to attack with punishing one to tap down Yoda, and does 6 damage to base with the 3 defeated units getting raid 3. Typho hits in for 4, taking DZ to 7. Still got the P38. We know he has a triple dark raid in hand. Can Django close this out? He really wants to see the resources. Okay, so he changes his mind. He hits Django as opposed to the base. This isn't the time for aggro strategy. He's hanging on by a thread. I think you gotta pull the trigger given the change of the attack. You want Django out for the Devastator to try to tap down Mina and Obi.
Maybe.
Art 6 is going to be Ruthless Raider.
Okay.
Ruthless Raider does 2 damage to base, 2 damage to a unit. I think he's going to tap down Mina just for the restore.
It's a bit less greedy, but into a full 7 resources, maybe you should be less greedy.
Yeah, Obi hits and kills Django. Does not die because Django only hits for 3. And P38 takes Tisdale to 24. I don't think that he's had a unit die, so Luke does not get -6.
No.
Going to play a Yaddle. DZ's going to claim. He's going to play another Typho. So got to do 9 damage more, but he's got a heck of a space arena. No longer has access to Django. He has Tisdale has what, a total of restore. So it could be restore 5, right? If Yaddle empowers Yobi.
If you do Yaddle,
but that probably won't happen.
It's 1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
Obi
4,
won't
5.
get to it.
Could be 6
because I
because
think
Mina also has restore.
right. Punishing one could answer that. So this is really a fascinating board state. We have Yoda into the ground arena entirely. Does he have a hyperspace disaster? We don't know.
Ooh, punishing one.
So punishing one is going to tap down Yoda.
It hits for 6, right? Yeah.
Yep. So pretty good. So either of the other 2 spaceships is representing lethal. I mean, Bo-Katan can't cast it.
Yeah. No, that's it. All right.
There's a look. All right. So DZ advances to the final. Django goes through. You're going to have a yellow-red final with Sabine Yellow versus Django. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
All right. We should have that one probably within a few minutes. So, yeah, stay close to your screens, everybody. But we're going to take a break.
And I see. Yep, we'll be back with the finals just after this. It won't take long.
Or we're on.
What's up, Star Wars Unlimited fans? We're here for the final of the Pastimes PQ, and we have a yellow-red matchup. We have Carlos Apodaca from Blue Milk Gaming and Late Night Competitive Team, piloting Sabine Yellow against another member of the competitive team, DZ, piloting Django.
Carlos is coming off a second place finish at the Atlanta Sector Qualifier.
Yeah, how good was that?
Yeah.
Running the Blue Milk OB list. And has done very well at this event. Our competitive team has done very, very good over the years at the Pastimes PQs. DZ actually, I think, is looking to be the first Illinois person to win.
Well,
and he's in the final.
This is the deck that Carlos has been playing. It's Sabine Yellow.
Yeah, and very good Sabine Yellow. I know him and Cam are both working on it. I mean, it's an aggressive, space-oriented aggro deck. Runs quite a few pumps. You see the heroic sacrifices. You see the rebel assault. The only post-rotation card is in the sideboard, the Sabine unit that kills upgrades, but better than a Outer Rim Constable. And very few misses for Foracaws as well. You have a couple of Dark Sabers, a couple of Surprise Strikes, a couple of Sneak Attacks, but that's it. Some cool stuff you can do here. I mean, you can Sneak Attack a K2, you can Heroic Sacrifice a K2. You can actually do both.
That's true.
Which is just mean. And, looking to, go fast and furious. I mean, Sabine's got to get under Django. I mean, there's no answers here to like a TDR Devastator in Sabine.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this Django list because it looks like they're about to get started. It's
and on the
pretty typical, I think.
Yeah, no, I think that DZ's happy that he chose the 30 base into a Sabine. I mean, you lose the Tarkentown, which is going to be explosive and kill something big, but you don't start down 5 damage, which really, really is important. And really kind of your classic Django list. I think the Shadow of Stygian Prime, we'll see if that comes into play, but that allows them to disable a unit and do kind of ping damage, 2 damage a turn. And then, a lot of it comes down to what your hits are with TDR and whether you draw it. Yeah. Very, very powerful thing. And then also, your board taps into Sabine. All right, so Carlos is happy with his situation, has resourced already. Pretty hard to brick Sabine Yellow. It runs quite a few low plays. I imagine DZ is looking for units with shields early. All right, so I see a Kylotai. DZ looks to have initiative, so Kylotai is pretty good because then if Sabine's only open as an A-Wing, it feels real bad. And they say good luck, and here we go. We have the Kylotai played into the Space Arena. Oh no, we have Orasing.
Okay.
Led off by DZ. Met by an L3, and DZ claims.
Love to see those shielded units.
Yep, and we have a ping. Both of these players play at pretty fast speed, so I'll try to keep up as we go. Yeah, the L3 is notable there because I see a P38 in DZ's hand, but that's not going to work for that particular unit. 3 damage to base from Aura. Carlos attacks base himself with L3. DZ plays P38, takes the shield of L3. Sabine pings, doing 1 damage to each base.
Interesting that we saw the Aura attack before the P38 came down, so that the Aura would go to base instead of killing the L3.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what this happens here. This is going to be the Sabine flip turn. The Falcon comes through, but Sabine doesn't have any cheating that she can do to tax evade, so has to play the Falcon tax. Is only going to have 3 resources available this turn. I mean, I don't hate here. Let's see, the P38 could kill the Falcon. Or, it would just be a trade with Falcon. You wouldn't be able to kill the Falcon and also tap down L3.
Yeah.
DZ considering what to do with initiative. He has a P-38 in the space arena and an Aura Sing in the ground arena. Looking at Sabine with a Millennium Falcon from set 1 in the space arena and an L3 in the ground arena. The most represented deck in the top 8 was Sabine Yellow, with both Cam and Carlos making it through. Well played, guys.
Yeah, Derek, I believe, is the only Django in the top 8. But he's made it all the way here.
Yeah, we saw Micah Overlay was a very good player on this deck as well. But, I mean, the problem with being the top dog is everybody's gunning for you. P-38 goes and attacks. Target to be determined. It's a tough call. Absolutely. He's going to trade with the Falcon. I think that's correct. L3 hit space for 3. Black Sun Patroller played into the space arena by TZ. Looking for shield tokens. That's a Premier Games token. We got a discount code, for you. Please use the Premier Games stuff. I don't know if I actually have it in the description or not, but I'll put it in there if you're watching the replay. DZ finds his own token. Sabine pings, doing 1 damage to each base. Another Black Sun.
All right. This is the Sabine flip turn, and Aura is threatening to exhaust her as soon as she flips.
Yeah, no, he's pinning Sabine with Aura. So we're going to have Nemec played. It's kind of an interesting spot, too.
Force either a pass or an attack with the Aura. Gonna be the
Clears
attack.
the L3. Sabine flips. DZ claims. Yeah, he's going to clear Aura with Sabine. That's what I thought he would do.
Is Carlos playing without a sleeve on his Sabine?
Yes. But he's got a hyperspace. That's a beautiful Sabine.
It is, yeah.
If you asked Carlos this week which PQ he was playing at, he would have said whichever direction my ride takes me. In the end, Cam decided to go to Pastimes and did well. Was able to top 8 with Sabine Yellow. And he loves playing that deck. Django deploys. Sabine attacks base for 3. And he knows that this Sabine deck has all kinds of damage that comes in ready. I mean, it has 3 Cassians, 3 Falcons, sneak attacks in there as well. So it's not just the 3 damage that he's representing. There's so many ways to play a ready unit with Sabine Yellow. We're going to have a sneak attack of our own on a Ruthless Raider.
Okay. Is he going to just blow up the Nemec?
I'm not sure. He's going to do 2 base for sure, and then decides to kill Nemec, which I think is right.
Even if he's got the disclose, it saves you with damage.
Yep. Discloses a K2. Does Carlos have a sneak attack to go with that K2? We'll find out soon.
I thought he did.
We have a Bothan spy. That's a cool spy token that was given at Beatle too. Shout out to all the people who made that event happen.
Yeah, we've seen all sorts of. We've seen all sorts of cool spies over the course of this tournament, from the poor glass rounds to the, this one. But yeah.
So he's going to hit base with the spy, taking him to 16. DZ attacks base for 2 with the Black Sun Patroller. I think he's playing this. He's keeping his Django up in case he needs to exhaust. So the Ruthless Raider is going to do 4, and then the when defeated is going to do 2, so that's going to be 6. So representing another 11 damage right now. But Carlos has not used any resources. He has sneak attack. We know he has K2 because he disclosed him to Ready Nemec.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he plays the sneak K2 now, Django can exhaust it.
Yep, which is exactly why DZ sequenced how he did. So I think it's very, very good. DZ's using one of those power tokens from Destiny as well. Here's the sneak attack, and it's going to be K2, I imagine.
Yeah.
Django's used all his resources, so the only way he can do it is run Django into it, which doesn't feel great. Yep, but I think you got to do it.
Yeah.
Carlos claims another 6 to base, and it will be 2 more when the Ruthless Raider dies, which is also going to kill that spy. Yeah, and I think we see there.
Okay.
Yep, and then K2 is going to do 3 damage to base. So Carlos needs to do 11 more.
Yeah, we're about even. DZ's got a better board here.
Yep, this is a really, really good game. I like this a lot. And both players thinking through all of their moves. Despite 2 lightning fast decks and 2 players with all kinds of experience taking their time in the final. Pastimes typically gives showcases to everybody as you get towards the top of it here, and substantial carbonate packs. So there's significant prize difference between first and second place, in addition to the points. Both players are qualified for Galactics. Carlos has 1,000,000 points. DZ won a PQ. Surprise strike to base. Sabine does 6, taking him to 25.
Carlos has got to be in competition for top 32 at this point, right?
Yeah. Yep, sure is. I think he'll make it. All right. But I think that the play here for DZ is very well just go base. Finish off Sabine. I mean, he has a TDR in his hand, right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, you're looking to do the 7 damage on board and then find something that hits for 5.
I mean, how many things are there that hit for 5, though?
So assuming that Carlos plays a unit, in addition to Sabine, punishing one does.
Yeah.
In addition to Devastator.
Otherwise,
Ruthless Raider effectively does.
Yeah, Devastator Raider.
So there's quite a few hits there. But I kind of like just an attack with one of the 2/2s. We'll see what he does. I don't know if the finals are timed or not, but it is not going to matter.
Yeah.
They're not going to get to 75 minutes, but this is very thinky because, DZ's thinking about all the different ways that Carlos can do damage for hand, but he can't just do nothing. He's going to try something. He's going to play a Wing Leader. The Wing Leader is actually kind of cool because it makes Sabine lethal on the next action, but also doesn't allow punishing one to hit for lethal.
James Carman in chat, he got the Raider.